Morning, all. All right, so news of the day to start things off for your Thursday, October the 10th. Some stuff from last night, some stuff to discuss. Let's go ahead and jump in. Tonight, the Boston Bruins are going to start Swayman against the Montreal Canadiens. That was the expectation. Swayman, now with his new contract, gets to go out and show that he's worth the new contract. They've got a Montreal team coming in that's probably going to feel pretty good coming off that 1-0 victory over Toronto last night. Should be an interesting one. But Swayman does get the start there. Adam Boqvist, who took a puck to the face in their opener against the Boston Bruins, he will not be in the lineup for the Florida Panthers tonight, and that's against the Ottawa Senators. Boqvist, of course, picked up in the offseason and looked good until the injury. Took that puck to the face trying to block it from coming out of the zone. Just missed his hand. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are considering starting Anthony Stolarz for the back-to-back game against the New Jersey Devils. It is going to be an interesting season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Stolarz played really well last night. He wasn't overly busy, and it's early in the season. I don't think starting a goaltender on back-to-back nights is a huge deal, but in today's NHL, it is considered to be it's rare. It's rare to see goaltenders play on back-to-back nights. Again, comparatively speaking, with say 20, 30 years ago. But I do think Stolarz is good enough that should be fine, putting him in for back-to-back nights. The NHL is apparently monitoring the situation with Hurricane Milton. That, of course, going through Florida. And so the home opener for the Tampa Bay Lightning is on Saturday against the Carolina Hurricanes. I've seen some comments as well of the Carolinas should change their team name based on all these hurricanes coming in. There's a lot of teams named after things that are dangerous, so I don't think that team name gets changed, and that's why you call them that. You're not going to have like the Anchorage Hurricanes because people are going to be like, hurricane never goes through Alaska, but yeah, Carolina, it works. So all the best to people that are going through this right now. I know it's a massive storm. Hopefully you're safe wherever you're at. And that it passes quickly. But I know it's a massive, pretty intense storm. Anthony Mantha last night had the Gordie Howe hat trick against the Vancouver Canucks. I apologize for not mentioning that in the review, but it's here now. Mantha looked good last night. Vancouver took their foot off the gas, and Calgary made him pay for it. Vancouver was never able to get that back going again. So Calgary gets that unexpected victory, and we'll see where they can go from here with it. There are 9 teams, according to Puckpedia, currently using LTIR to get under the salary cap. So these are all teams that would be above the cap, if not for LTIR. And last season, I think it was 23 teams that used LTIR. So, yeah, there are currently 9 that would be above the cap without it. And so this is why when people talk about, completely revamping the LTIR system, I don't think we're going to see a complete revamp because it would basically create havoc. You'd have a lot of teams that wouldn't be able to ice a full roster. You'd have, so I understand that the whole thing has been, Vegas and first round and Tampa and all this. But if they do revamp the LTIR system, they're not going to want to punish teams that are using it to get under the cap during the regular season. And I think it's just a matter of altering how you work it when it gets to the playoffs. Boone Jenner underwent shoulder surgery today, according to the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's going to be starting rehab soon. He's going to be out for a while. He's not going to be back for some time here. But successful shoulder surgery. Good to see successful next to that. Not just he had shoulder surgery. We're not sure if it was a success yet. So definitely better to read that it was a success. Coming out of last night's games, the panic seems to be rising already for Oilers and Canucks fans. Oiler fans, it's mainly around the idea that, Stuart Skinner does have his struggles here and there. And honestly, and I mean, I was, being facetious saying that, games 1 through 3 he struggles, game 4 on, he's pretty darn good, meaning the playoffs from last year. But Skinner's a very up and down goaltender. He can look brutal at times, but he can look really good at others. It's just, it's his game. And of course, for the Canucks, when you have a 4-1 lead at home against a team that's supposed to be rebuilding, you should be able to hold on to that. But again, it's opening night. There are going to be teams that don't do all that well. There are going to be teams that do. And there are still 81 more games to go. So I've seen comments regarding me not doing the daily previews anymore. And I'm going to be honest. It is so much better for me personally not doing the daily previews anymore. The daily previews did not get views, and I found that on certain days it felt like other videos I was posting, and I don't know if this is the algorithm pushing those videos down, but it didn't feel like some other videos were getting the view counts that they otherwise might have. And I always felt like the previews were hurting the other videos I made that day on certain occasions, especially when I was doing a preview for like 4 games and that preview get like 800 views or 1,000 views. It wasn't working. And as for my decision not to wear team jerseys for reviews where there's multiple games, and I've seen the comments on that, it is not me giving in to other people. It's just me deciding this season there won't be that argument of, well, THG didn't wear my team's jersey because he hates my team. THG wore this team's jersey again because this is clearly the team he's secretly rooting for. And it's not about haters. People always respond to this like, oh, he's always giving in to haters. It's not haters. It's just these are people that have an opinion that I either favor or disfavor their team, and so this season, I'm going to be as neutral as possible when it comes to the reviews, and I'm not going to worry about it. Last year, I had a whole spreadsheet I was using, and I at the end of the last season, I was like, I don't want to have to use a spreadsheet again to see how many jerseys I've worn of each team during the regular season. That takes the fun out of it. So I'm enjoying it. I like the Dalek jersey I wore last night. Yes, I do. It's a nice one, and I have so many geeky jerseys. The funny part is I've seen people saying, "Well, I like to see your collection." All you see is just the regular. Usually, I just wear the regular jerseys for each team. Yeah, I sometimes wear the thirds, reverse retros, and whatnot. But yeah, you'll see way more of my collection if I'm not wearing the NHL jerseys for those reviews. And yeah, so I can have fun with it. I have tons of other jerseys that are not NHL and AHL related, and I'm looking forward to wearing those in review videos this year. And I prefer it. So I really want to enjoy this season, and I'm going to embrace the really busy nights and have fun with those too. And I knew that when I was making changes to how I did some things during the regular season, that there would be people who weren't necessarily on board, but there were times last season where I really did get burnt out, and there were just little things that I knew were aiding that, and the daily previews were part of it. That was definitely part of it. So doing the previews every 2 or 3 days, I think works a lot better. So tomorrow morning I'll do a preview for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's games, and then on Monday I preview Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday I preview Wednesday and Thursday, and then that Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. So it's just basically going from 7 preview videos a week to 3. And for review videos, if there's only one game on, well then I'll wear that team's jersey. Whoever wins, I'll wear their jersey. But yeah, again, it's something I made the change with, and I know that when changes are made, there's going to be people who aren't necessarily all that happy with it. But it just makes things. It last night was fun. It was fun to have two Dalek magnets on the board. When I didn't know if I'd be using the exterminate. Like, even when I came up with that concept last season, I was like, well, we'll see if there's any extermination games. I mean, probably pretty rare. And we had 2 of them last night. And so I was glad I had a Dalek jersey I could wear with it. So there you go. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support. It is greatly appreciated. I'm glad the regular season is back. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you've not done so already. And tonight, of course, there's 9 games on in the NHL, so I'm going to, do my best to follow as much as I can, get that review up, and then I'll figure out a fun jersey I can wear for that too. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.